Aloha, y'all. It is Friday, Freya's Day, hence the name Friday, I don't even know what the date is. I guess the 18th or 19th, I didn't look, all my phones are being used, so there's no way to tell. Is there a way to tell? Let's check. It's the 18th. Yet another device, God. I've got things lying around everywhere. All right, so it's the 18th of March, Freya's Day. It is a Vishuddha Chakra Day, a throat chakra day, which I'll get into in a second. But let's talk about the astrology. I read it down as I'm using my app phone for this. The sun is at 27 degrees, 51 minutes Pisces. The moon is now in Libra, 0 degrees, 15 minutes. It was a full moon last night, apexing around midnight or so, early morning. And it popped out. It is now in Libra. Hopefully you did something cool, ritualistic. I know that I put out water and I'm gonna sip it for the next month, bless some water, that kind of hippie stuffs. Mercury is in 13 degrees, 53 minutes Pisces. Venus is at 11 degrees Aquarius. Mars is 9 degrees Aquarius, still conjunct. Jupiter is at 18 degrees Pisces. Saturn's at 20 degrees Aquarius. Uranus is at 12 degrees Taurus. Neptune's at 23 degrees Pisces. So it's kind of slipping out of that orb. It's loose. 4 degrees, 51 minutes between the sun. Once it's 5 or more, it's not as really conjunct. So Neptune's 23 degrees Pisces. Pluto's at 28 degrees Capricorn. And the North Node is at 23 degrees Taurus now. It's a Vishuddha Chakra Day. Throat Chakra Day. So what this throat chakra is, right, this whole area right in your throat, hence the name. Its keywords are about knowledge, health, and decisiveness. Positive aspects are loyalty, trustworthiness, tactfulness, and calm, speaking the truth. Negative aspects are unfaithful, untrustworthy, self-righteous, cold, and lying. Mantras HAM, H-A-M, so if you're going to be doing chakra chanting, which I highly suggest one does, I do it, you're going to be doing that in the key of G, Kenny G. Like that in G. The sensory experience is hearing. The spiritual activities are chanting, silent retreats, fasting, yoga, dance, qigong, tai chi. Essential oils are blue chamomile, gardenia, and ylang ylang. Metal is mercury. Element is the aether. Crystals are turquoise, blue agate, and aquamarine. And the soul lesson is expressing divine will. Abracadabra kind of stuff, right? You speak it and so it becomes. So let's go ahead and pull some cards. Hopefully you all are doing well and enjoying these full moon vibes. I know that I took a lot, 30 milligrams of melatonin last night, and I'm a little groggy, I'm not gonna lie. I had some weird dreams about shopping malls and their non-necessity, kind of post-shopping mall era. It's like, oh my gosh, look, they've gone to all this extravagance to make this really bougie shopping mall and nobody's here, nobody cares, right? What a weird dream. So the card we're getting for today is the Four of Wands. Great card. There's some psychedelic mushrooms at the bottom. Twin flame card, so I've been told. So let's go ahead and see what the Four of Wands has in store. If you're an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius, you're a fire sign. That's the wand suit. So you're naturally going to resonate with this. And this is applicable for all of us. So here we go. The Four of Wands, setting the stage for celebration, communication, and building your pillars of relationship, achieving a beautiful balance. And with the moon in Libra now, very much about balance. I enroll others in the strength of my vision, very much Aquarius, Saturn, right? Get your work done with others, but Aquarius, Mars, conjunct Venus is this kind of situation too. The Four of Wands is about creating, empowering, and potentializing relationships and establishing strong physical and emotional foundations upon which to build a life. In the card artwork, a futuristic couple walk hand in hand across a walkway. At their feet, we notice a crack in the structure which indicates they are together, but there is a space in their togetherness, so not necessarily codependent, right? The Four Wands representing the four pillars of life, relationship / love, body / physical, purposeful work, and spiritual development, all float on either side of the couple. So they're balanced, Libra moon. North Node of Taurus, they're achieving victory in the material world, in the values they choose to create. It can be said that your life is as strong as your weakest pillar. Therefore, the ultimate key is to achieve balance. A whole lot of Libra moon energy coming on. This is on page 108, I might add, also a Buddhist holy number, the number of mala beads in a mala, like I just said, which is kind of the Buddhist rosary, if you don't know. Building the pillar of relationships, for example, means that you have people in your life who will recognize and perhaps even identify with your talents, gifts, and potential. They help you create the conditions for honesty, acknowledging your strengths, and assisting you in seeing and addressing your weaknesses, giving feedback as difficult as this can be in a way that helps you to evolve. The physical pillar is concerned with health, your positive, life-affirming connection to your body, the sacred vessel which carries you through life. It not only concerns the ways you give it nourishment and sustenance, but the activities that enliven and build its healing power and strength. It, too, addresses the physical environment of your home, which provides the sanctuary in which to rest, nurture, and reinvigorate yourself with life. The purposeful work pillar is built on shaping and purposely using your talents and abilities in the cause of something to not only inspire, sorry about all these dogs going bananas, to not only inspire and empower you, but inspire and enliven others, right? As these dogs are group inspired to bark at somebody walking by, probably. The final spiritual pillar is created and built through the knowledge, discipline, and commitment to conscious spiritual practices such as meditation and prayer, journeying, and the sacred arts. If we become over-interested and invested in one area, the structure becomes unstable. You don't want to just do psychedelics all the time and never hang out with people and get their feedback. You don't want to just hang out with people and be really socially kind of engaged and have never done psychedelics or meditated. See what I mean? You don't want to just work on your arms and neglect your leg day, as the meme goes. The four pillars can be viewed as the supports of a bridge which leads from the head or mind to the heart. Love, strength, insight, and logic can travel the head and the heart between them, creating an open exchange, a unified being. In the artwork, the couple are looking intently at one another, communicating a depth of relationship, commitment, and togetherness. Behind them, we see a tall, but that's distracting to me, so I don't know how y'all feel. Golly. In the artwork, the couple are looking intently at one another, communicating a depth of relationship, commitment, and togetherness. Behind them, we see a tall building with a golden flower of life geometry rising up the middle, denoting the power of creation and the rich interconnectedness of life. The imposing architectural structure they are walking from tells us this relationship is backed by the power of something established. We are witnessing, very North Node in Taurus. We are witnessing a marriage or a ceremony of union. Their relationship has been witnessed. The Four of Wands invites you to look at the structure of your life as a whole. Practically all of us will have pillars or aspects of how we live that are weaker, compromising the integrity of what we wish to build. So we're looking for that balance, that equality. What pillar of yours needs care and attention? This card points to the possibility of achieving a beautiful balance, steadily working away at each aspect of your life, sharing your experience with those you love and respect, enrolling others with the vision you have of yourself, inspiring them to live their best life. Four of Wands, setting the stage for celebration, communicate and build your pillars of relationship and achieve a beautiful balance. So a whole lot of our astrological resonance, right? North Node in Taurus, creating value, Moon in Libra, creating this balanced and harmonized situation emotionally with others, partnerships particularly. With the Sun loosely conjunct Neptune at this point, we can really tap in with psychedelics and meditation and speak and hear the truth for ourselves, Vishuddha Chakra. Right? We can really tap into something higher than just a mental perception or just an impulse of the body particularly. So let's go ahead and get a clarification card. And like that, the dogs were done. It's always interesting. I'm like, what are they even barking at? Usually not much. But c'est la vie. So we got Justice, more Libra moon energy. The Valkyrie, which is this winged angel. Actually, if you've ever played God of War, the latest God of War installation, there's secret levels with the Valkyrie, fighting the Valkyrie, and it's fucking harder than any other boss there really is, the final Valkyrie. I think there's 7 of them or 10 of them or something. So this is a major arcana clarifier. The Justice card. Let's read it. Justice. I reap what I sow, and I choose to walk the path of truth. So this is about the principles of consequences. You reap what you sow, reclaiming your power, taking an honest inventory of your life, and acknowledging both successes and defeats. And when we do that, we need to be doing it to balance our whole picture. We're not just judging ourselves just for the fun of it. We're not just picking at scabs to be annoying and be like, oh my gosh, I'm not perfect. The Virgo full moon energy still in the air might make us feel that, but now we're in a Libra moon, so we can come into a balanced situation with all the pillars of our existence, hopefully in order to come to a deeper understanding of the divine will, of the truth of the situation. So let's go ahead and get an animal oracle card. On the one hand, I appreciate these dogs. On the other hand, it's making me realize how much more of a cat person I really am. So, we got stability. Guys, that's what the whole point of the Four of Wands was. It's all the synchronization, right? Stability. This is Honu in Hawaiian, I should say. Turtle, sea turtle. So, let's go ahead and read about the sea turtle. Number 8, the Lamenscape, which is kind of an infinity symbol, which is balanced. A balanced kind of a symbol. In that sense, 2 little circles together forever and ever. Twin flaming it out, Four of Wands. Alright, so, sea turtle. Stability. Operating from a stable base is advantageous. North Node and Taurus. You want to be coming from a grounded, stable place. Moon and Libra. You don't want to be out of kilter. We have weakest links in our chain, like it's saying, but to become aware of those, speak truth, Vishuddha chakra, throat chakra into those places and balance them out for the sake of everybody, yourself and others. Justice card is really the name of the game. So coming from a stable place is advantageous. If you need help and guidance, ask for it. Right? Speak up. Vishuddha chakra. I heard a great quote on a Kanye West documentary that just came out on Netflix, 3 parts, well worth watching, but Jay-Z's like, closed mouths don't get fed. You've got to speak up and say, I need help, or this is my position, or whatever. If you need help and guidance, ask for it. As you are loved and supported, delve deeply into the study of something rather than just skimming the surface. Right? With Saturn in Aquarius, we really can become amazingly competent right now in the structures of our knowledge and awareness. Do not push hard for what you want all the time. Instead, set an intention or direction and steadily flow towards this. Right? Mercury and Neptune, Jupiter, and the Sun in Pisces. Flow. Go with the flow. You don't have to force things. Not every journey needs to be a difficult one full of drama. Moon in Libra, right? It's like come in a balanced way, in a stable way, North Node and Taurus, and you might actually get more done than you would with just the impassioned freak out, right? And the wands can be a very fiery energy, right? It's a wand, it's a fire, but with the Justice card, the Moon in Libra, the stability coming online, and the ethers of, I think it's ether element of the Vishuddha chakra, that we need to be coming to our truth with a very stable, calm way, and not just like this ratchet kind of way, like these dogs. They're screaming their truth, but is it helping them? No, they're caged and they can't really attack what they're trying to find or whatever. Mythos. There was a beautiful and magical sea turtle called a Honopuokea, that's this name, and I'm going to butcher some of these names, I guess, because they're Hawaiian, who lived on the waters of Big Island of Hawaii. She was happy, but it was time for her to meet her husband. 4 of Wands. She wanted a partnership, right? She met a strong, kind sea turtle named Honu, hence the name Honu Ea, who was also magical. Soon it was time for Honopuokea to lay her eggs, and she did. A large single black egg patterned like the dark wood of the Kaila tree. While the turtle parents waited for the baby to hatch, they dug a hole nearby, and they dug it so deeply that fresh water sprang forth and a beautiful pool was formed. Soon, the baby was hatched and rose up out of the sand, a young female turtle just as magical as her parents. They named her Kaulua, after the tree. Kauila is probably how it... But there's no apostrophe, so it's not broken. Kauila. I just can't speak Hawaiian. She had a very pretty pale head, and yet her shell was strong, dark, and domed, powerfully protective even in someone so young. Kauila saw the cool, clear spring pond and headed straight for it, happy that she had a home for herself. She swam down deeply and made silvery bubbles that burst upon the surface. Soon, young human children discovered the pond, and Kauila allowed them to ride upon her back if they were fatigued, and sometimes she would transform herself into a young girl so she could play with them. When the children visited and they noticed the bubbles popping up from below, they knew Kauila was there in the pool with them, making sure that they were safe. The animal, one of the highlights of my life so far, and this is Stacy DeMarco speaking first person. She's been on the podcast. Shout out Stacy. Aussie, oi, oi, oi. One of the highlights of my life so far is being lucky enough to witness tens of little sea turtles hatch on a moonlit night on a beach in eastern Africa. Out they came, tumbling down the dune, heading towards the bright lunar light and struggling valiantly towards the safety of the ocean. Some became confused about what light to follow, and some were found scrambling along the hallways of a brightly lit beachfront hotel. Gently cradling one of these wanderers in my hand, very Moon and Libra, and taking a closer look, I was so moved to see this little green wonder had a tiny blood mark on its belly. I picked up another, and this one did too. As I released them into the dark ocean, I thought, yes, baby turtles also have a navel at birth. On average of 100 eggs laid and hatched, only one will live to maturity. Such is the life of the sea turtle, right? That's the justice of nature, if you want to put it that way. Not everything, 100 out of 100 don't survive necessarily. It just kind of is what it is. Only the strongest links in the chain survive. Females mate while at sea and then return to their hatching place quietly and solitarily, laying a clutch of eggs on the same beach at night. The exception to this is the Kemp's Ridley sea turtle, which arrives in mass called an Arabida, which would be interesting, a whole bunch of sea turtles coming in at once during the day. Turtles are one of the only creatures to eat seagrasses, an important cyclic action for the health and stability of the ecosystem. Other common foods are jellyfish, snails, sponges, and crabs. Eggs that are laid and not hatched eventually degrade and nourish the dune plants. It's the circle of life, right? There is still justice even in the death of an egg. Migrating long distances of 1,200 kilometers or more to breeding territories is a hallmark of many turtle species. And yes, like the sea turtles featured in a famous animated movie, they do ride the currents. That's probably referring to Finding Nemo, catching the currents like a surfer. The magic, which is why we're all here, the magic, sea turtle magic flows to us with the stability and resilience. So we've got the Sun and Neptune, Jupiter, Mercury, and Pisces kind of flowing, but there is a stability, North Node in Taurus. When you want something to come to fruition, but do not want to have to push very hard for it, as you perhaps have habitually done, ride the wave of sea turtle magic with its ease and surety. Sea turtles travel long distances, yet they follow the currents and hitch a ride. You too can do this energetically and refuse to be pressured. Sometimes you need to accept someone else's more stable, helping hand so you can rest a little, a healthy part of the lesson of turtles, right? The balance and stability that we're trying to seek with the Four of Wands. The justice of the scales being balanced is ultimately something that the sea turtle is calling us towards, which is stability itself, the card. So symbologies: bubbles, the turtle shell, the unique eye shape of a turtle, shells. Status of the 7 species of sea turtle, all are on the International Union for Conservation of Nature Red List of Endangered Species as being either endangered or critically endangered. It is arguably loggerhead turtles that are most endangered. How can you help protect sea turtles? Be aware of where turtles nest, and if you are in a nesting area, turn off any ambient light. You want the hatchlings to go towards the moon in the water, not your home. Keep the sea clean by doing beach cleanups and reduce plastic use. Report stores that sell illegal turtle shells and products, and support conservation efforts and laws that prohibit long line fishing, especially without turtle excluders. So let's be good stewards. We can actually have a part in their ecological justice and create a more balanced world through our actions. Four of Wands. Right? So if you're always, if you're really good at binging Netflix, but you don't necessarily recycle the plastics, maybe catch up on that and balance it out, right? Because what we reap, we sow. Or what we sow, we reap, right? So we need to find that stability, that place, that turtle, in order to have the divine will, the Vishuddha chakra, come through us strongly. So it's not about judging people, oh, you don't do this, or oh, you do this. It's about resonating the highest frequency of truth for ourselves and others vocally. Oh, I totally thought that was our dog on the other side of the fence. My heart sank. It's not. It's the neighbor dog. Holy cow, that scared me. they've been digging out and doing weird shit. So, yep, see one right now is just pushing herself through. Oh, these dogs, they can be crazy. I'll have to look. It doesn't really matter, but it's more annoying because they can go back there if they want to, but dogs. All right, so the hexagram we have is, I think we got this earlier this week or last week, and I do shuffle these. Oh, look on the bottom, balance scales, justice card. We got 30 hexagram, which is very much the moon in Libra scales. Very Pisces sun also. So number 30 is as follows. Adhering / fire. Yeah, we got this 2 or 3 days ago. When two forces mutually support each other, right? 4 of Wands, 2 forces mutually supporting each other. The balance of the scales of justice. The stability of the 8 infinity symbol. 2 circles coming together to form a Lamensgate. When 2 forces mutually support one another, they achieve a greater effect than would be possible for each one acting alone. You are currently in the vicinity of a complicated power struggle. Understand that even you cannot be impartial, right? So you're going to have your perspective and speak your truth. I keep holding it upside down. Vishuddha chakra. You're going to have your truth to speak, and you shouldn't silence it. You should keep it in balance and hear other people's out. Democracy, right? Representational democracy. You want to hear their part, you want to hear your part, and see what works best. But yeah, don't mute yourself. Accept the given nature of mutual dependence. Open up to the forces and to a relationship capable of bearing that strain, right? Strongest chain stuffs. You're going to have weak chains and work on those weak chains for what? Stability's sake. Open up to other forces and to relationships capable of bearing the strain. All of those involved live up to their individual challenges through mutual support. Very Mars conjunct Venus in Aquarius. The royal we, from the Gilbowski, I'm wearing the shirt ironically. The royal we, we're in this together. You're a royal, independent, sovereign thing in a group. Very much like this flower of life patterning on the back of this card. See, it's like individual symbols that make up a whole symbol. You should not question the importance of cooperation, even in relationships where there's less harmony, right? We should be as harmonized, stable, Justice card as the clarifier, balanced as we can be in all things, especially relationships. Adapt your ideas to the realities and use your energy to expand into new horizons, right? And how do we expand into new horizons? 4 of Wands. We do it in the fire, right? How do we do it? Through stability, not just impulse. Through a sense of truth and justice. I mean, that's supposed to be the whole American way, according to Captain America, right? Truth, justice, the American way, or whatever the fuck he says. We need to be speaking our truth independently, but in a collective way, so that the force can be reckoned as a unit, as a collective thing, not just an individual effort. That's the way of the game. And so a good example is coming to mind, I guess, because I just said some patriotic shit. Paul Revere, he's like, I'm going to go warn people, one if by land, 2 if by sea, go tell everybody the redcoats are coming whenever they're coming. So he had an individual job, but he had a role in the collective to unite the collective in a very particular way. He wasn't just doing his own thing for himself, it was for the sake of all, for justice sake, for truth's sake. So the stone we've got today is Jet, like the Paul McCartney Wing song, Jet. I should have done it. It's like, I was a little out of my key trying to do that. Jet, you could quantumly entangle with this. You don't have to own it. But hey, if you do, props. So what it is, earthy and grounding, North Node in Taurus. This true black mineraloid variety of coal is an ancient fossilized driftwood. And it was saying in the sea turtle card how she had a black, shell, and a turtle kind of looks like driftwood a little. Who needs it? Empaths and witchy types, so very sun, conjunct Neptune loosely now, Jupiter, Pisces, that kind of empathic, emotional, even Moon and Libra to a degree, that the things in which we feel others out and feel all the feels. Where to put it? To clear a physical space of your body of uninvited vibes, swipe Jet over the affected area and tell toxic energies, spirits, and tensions to peace out. When to use it? When asking for guidance from elsewhere. Think a seance, guided meditation, hardcore tarot sessions. Jet can take the edge off of high vibe stones like moldavite and serpentine and is a wise old friend to bring as your +1 wherever triggers are sure to be on the guest list. It says claim your space. So that is what we're kind of trying to do with the Four of Wands. We're claiming our space, our balanced structure. Hopefully, the fire in our bellies, right, is being ushered forth, and we're moving forward together, kind of like at the end of a Fight Club, right, where all the buildings are collapsing and they hold hands. They're like, "Yo, we're in a brave new world now. We've got to really adhere to the to the unity of our pact, our relationship, the stability that brings, right? We are now the carriers of justice." I realized Tyler Durden was part of me, or whatever, spoiler, and we got to walk through a brave new world that's collapsing around us. So that's how do we do that? With Jet. Claim our space. Claim your space sometimes through your voice, through the sovereignty of your perspective, through your truth. Speak it. Abracadabra. So it is. And you don't want to do that in such a way that you're overpowering. You don't want to dominate. You don't want this person always talking and this person never talking. You want to, I mean, this person might be more quiet and this person might be more vocal or whatever, but you want to kind of create that balance. Libra moon, adherence, right? See the circle, the moon, and then the scales, kind of. We want to have stability. So try to know your role, as The Rock would say, know your damn role, right? And find justice in the world by claiming your space and also allowing others to claim their space equally. And if we all do that, which we're all doing anyway, but probably less consciously than not, more, just kind of through actions or whatever, that's when we can really tap in to the truth that is ours to speak. Hopefully you all enjoyed this and resonate. If you do, like it, subscribe, tag people, share it, whatever's clever. Leave a tip if you like it. That is kind of Feed the Jim Foundation stuffs. I'm staying abroad without income at the moment, so any tips are appreciated. Holler for readings, $33 for an hour of cards like you just saw, for you and your particular query. $88 for 3 hours of astrology, so you'll become a kind of little guru, astro guru yourself, and know thyself. It's a lot of fun. 5 stars only. People love it. I love it. And together, combined, is like an afternoon, 4 hours-ish, of hanging out with me, cards and astrology. That's $111. So I'm being distracted. I'm seeing school buses and motorbikes and all sorts of stuff. So check out the Team Rabbit Hole podcast. We just had a great one the other day with Colin Smith talking about really gnarly stuff. Very much the as above, so below, holographic, fractal reality of things, from a very practical standpoint. North Node in Taurus, not just total woo. He's got a North Node in 10th house Pisces with his Mars, so he's preaching the dream structurally. He's doing a good job of that. And then last night we had Peyton Quinn Baker on. Fascinating talk there. So if y'all enjoyed this, like I said, tag people, share it, whatever's clever. And I hope y'all enjoy your Freya's Day. Adios.